Hey, this is M, and in tonight's coaching video, we are talking about polarizing your relationships. Now, what do I mean by polarizing your relationships? What I mean by polarizing your relationships is when you are not afraid to tell the girl when she's wrong, when you are not afraid to put her in her place, when you are not afraid to hold her accountable for her actions. Most guys, the reason why they are unsuccessful with young, attractive girls is because they fail to polarize their relationships. Instead, they depolarize their relationships and they are overly nice to the girl and they don't hold her accountable for her actions and they don't put her in her place when she's wrong. Instead, they're like, yeah, you're totally right. They constantly try to appease her, and keep her from feeling uncomfortable because they're too busy trying to get laid. So they end up depolarizing the relationship, and what happens to those guys? Those guys end up in her friend zone, right? By the way, I'm out here in San Francisco, actually in Justin Herman Plaza, right across from the Ferry Building. I'm here for the weekend, visiting my family, and thought I'd come out and shoot a quick video for you guys. You constantly have to polarize your relationships with the opposite sex, because if you don't polarize your relationships and you don't act like the man in those relationships, guess what's gonna happen? She's gonna start treating you like the woman, and that's the last thing you want. Okay, that's the last thing you want, is to depolarize your relationship where she starts treating you like the chick. Because once these girls start treating you like a chick, you're done. Okay, you're done. The girl's gonna have no respect for you. She is going to belittle you. She is going to rip you to shreds. If you look at the top guys, okay, the top guys in pickup who are just crazy successful with young hot girls, you will notice one common theme with them when you watch them in set. If you're ever to see them live in set with girls, you'll notice one common theme. And that one common theme is that they polarize their relationships with a girl. They are very polarizing. They're not afraid to put that girl in her place. They're not afraid to tell that girl when she's wrong. They're not afraid to hold that girl accountable for her actions. And you have to be the same, okay? You have to be willing to hold these girls accountable when they are wrong. You have to stop being so afraid of being a jerk or coming off as a jerk or being afraid that she might have these negative opinions of you, because those are the things that polarize your relationship. And polarizing your relationship is what creates attraction. You cannot create attraction by depolarizing your relationships, by being overly nice to these girls, or being appeasing to them, or telling them exactly what they want to hear, or buying them gifts that they don't deserve. This is why only 2% of the male population out there, probably less than that, probably 1.5% of the male population out there are dating all of the young hot girls out there. They know how to polarize their relationships. Okay, they know how to polarize their relationships, and that's what you are going to learn how to do in tonight's coaching video. And I've got a little treat for you today. Today's special coaching lesson is from my monthly coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and find, meet, and attract young, beautiful women into your own life each and every month. So instead of living in scarcity, where you have a scarcity of dating options, where you don't have anybody hitting you up or texting you or calling you for dates, by getting in my monthly coaching program, Mastery, we're gonna change that. So if you're not in my monthly coaching program now, you wanna get in my monthly coaching program like ASAP. Okay, and again, right now it's only $1, so you definitely want to take advantage of my $1 offer that I have going on right now. It's a $1 trial where you get the entire first month of coaching lessons from me in Mastery for just $1. And whether you decide to stay in the program or not is up to you, but 99% of the guys who sign up for my program end up staying in my program because it's that valuable. They're learning lessons about how to approach young, beautiful women that nobody else out there ever possibly teach them. Lessons that you can only ever possibly learn from a pickup and dating coach. Basically me, a guy who's been in the game over 2 decades, has taught thousands of guys all around the world and has dated over 300 young, beautiful women myself now. And I am currently ranked as one of the top 25 pickup and dating coaches in the world. And right now, you can learn from me. You can learn all my invaluable and priceless lessons, all for just $1. Okay, so get signed up now, take advantage of it, and let's put an end to these lonely nights and these unattractive girls that you're going out there and settling for, and let's get you some hot girls. Let's get your phone ringing off the hook. Let's get hot girls texting you left and right, and let's fill up your schedule with dates. So if you jump into my coaching program, Mastery Now, for $1, even the lessons that you learn in the very first month, anytime you see a young hot girl walk by you, you will be able to just walk right up to her and go, bam, stop her. Hey, who are you? What's your name? Where are you going? I'm coming with you. You'll be able to do that, okay? Just from the first month of coaching lessons alone. That's how valuable and how priceless what I have to teach you in Mastery actually is. And again, you could get those lessons from the entire first month of Mastery right now for just $1. It's just $1, and you'll be able to use those lessons for every young hot girl you see out there that walks by you in everyday life, whether it's at the gym, whether you're on a break from work, whether you're out shopping. You'll be able to stop any young hot girl you see, and you'll know exactly what to say and exactly what to do, just from that very first month of coaching, which is only $1. So you'll no longer have to sit back and watch all these attractive women just pass you by, wondering and kicking yourself later about not knowing whether or not she would have been cool, not knowing whether or not you would have had things in common, not knowing whether or not you share the same beliefs or you like the same music or the same movies. You know, you don't have to let those opportunities pass you by anymore, because I know it sucks. Okay, I know it sucks, guys, because I get a lot of students when they're still new to my program. That was the life they were living. They were living a life where they were chumps. They were sitting back watching all these other guys who were less attractive than them, fatter than them, more out of shape than them, had nothing going on, had less value than them, just blasting right by them and picking up these hot girls right in front of them like it's nothing, making them feel even worse about themselves. Okay, but you don't have to feel that anymore. You don't have to feel that at all. I mean, imagine if you just spend $1 and jump into my coaching program for 30 days, okay? That's all it's gonna cost, is $1 for the full 30 days. And just take what I have to teach you in those first 30 days and go out there and apply them to any young hot girl you see walk by you. You will see the magic of what I have to teach you. You will see how powerful it is for yourself. And I want you to see how powerful it is. But you have to take that first step, okay? You have to do it. And it's the easiest step, which is the craziest thing. It's the easiest step. And all you have to do is click the link below in my description box. It'll take you right over to my website, and you could get into my coaching program, 7 months to mastery, right now for just that one tiny dollar. That's all it's gonna cost you. And what you're gonna learn in the next 30 days is gonna change your life forever. It's gonna change your outlook on life forever. It's gonna change your view of women forever. It's gonna change your view of yourself forever and what you ever thought you were capable of doing. Okay, especially if you've never learned this stuff, you've never had any professional coaching before, you're gonna get professional coaching from me in the very first month, all for just $1. Okay, so take advantage of it. Don't worry, you know, I'm not gonna be like draining your bank account of thousands of dollars. Okay, you could stop anytime you want to. You can cancel anytime you want. I just want you to take that first month with me, take that first step with me, and get into mastery for the first month and take advantage of the lessons that I'm practically begging you to take for just $1. Okay, don't miss this opportunity. It's not gonna be up forever. As I keep telling you guys, I am gonna move on to other things. I feel like I've already conquered pickup. I've conquered teaching guys. The guys who are in my coaching program now, I'm gonna keep teaching those guys, but I'm not gonna keep letting guys in. I'm gonna close the doors. I'm gonna shut it down. And the guys who are in there, who got in before we shut the doors, I'm gonna keep coaching those guys, okay? I'm gonna continue my obligation to those guys. Anybody new tries to come in, sorry, not gonna let you in. So get in now while you still can. Take advantage of it, click the link below, and let's get started on tonight's coaching lesson. Right from Mastery itself, how to polarize your relationships with the opposite sex, with young hot girls. Let's do this. All right, so real quickly, I'd like to talk about polarizing your relationship with young hot girls that you approach. Okay, and this is a little bit more advanced. We're gonna go beyond just the techniques that you've learned in my Mastery Coaching series to a little bit more of the advanced fundamentals that I want you guys to learn. And one thing that is key with attracting young hot girls or being attractive to young hot girls is having the ability to polarize your relationship. Okay, now what do I mean by polarizing your relationship? What I mean by polarizing your relationship is basically doing all of the things that I taught you in my coaching series, Mastery, and doing them as a man. Basically, not being afraid to be a man in front of your target, not being afraid to nag her, not being afraid to take shots at her, not being afraid to hold her accountable when she says something rude or says something mean, not being able to throw that back at her like, hey man, did your mom teach you to talk like that? Be nice, be respectful, putting her in her place. All these little things are the basic fundamentals of how you polarize your relationship with your target, with the opposite sex. And the sole reason why a guy fails to attract a girl, a guy fails to attract his target, and he ends up in her friend zone, 99.9% of the time, it's because he failed to polarize his relationship with her. Instead, he depolarized it, okay? Now, how do you depolarize your relationship? The way you depolarize your relationship with girls is you're overly too nice to her, you pedestalize her, you don't hold her accountable, you're afraid to take shots at her, you're afraid to tell her when she's wrong because you don't want her to think that you're a jerk. You're basically in fear of her having any negative opinion of you whatsoever. That is how you depolarize a relationship, and that is how you end up in her friend zone. That is how you kill attraction from the girl. That is how girls lose attraction for you, is because you depolarize your relationship with her. And so many guys are guilty of doing this every single day, okay? Especially newbies. Newbies and guys who've never had this training, guys who have no pickup and dating knowledge, they are masters at depolarizing their relationships with the opposite sex, whether it's young hot girls or just women, period. They are afraid to polarize a relationship. They're afraid of what the girl might think of them. They're afraid of being looked at as a jerk or as, a guy who isn't a nice guy. They're afraid of that. And because they don't polarize the relationship, the girl does not see him as a man, and it's really sad. But, whenever you don't polarize a relationship with any girl, whether she's hot or not, any girl you're interacting with, if you don't polarize that relationship and you don't let her know, hey, you're the man, you're willing to put your foot down, you're willing to tell her when she's wrong, you're willing to put her in her place. When you don't polarize the relationship, she does not look at you as a man. She looks at you no different than she does a female. And this is why a lot of girls will treat you like a female. They will give you those dirty looks. They will be like, pfft. They'll have no fear in disrespecting you like they do other girls, right? Like they do other girls that they don't like. A lot of girls are, they're pretty mean to each other. If you take a look, a lot of girls tend to disrespect each other. They talk smack behind each other's backs. They are very, very vindictive towards each other. They're very mean-spirited towards each other. So you'll notice this type of behavior coming at you from a girl, like treating you like you're another female, because she is not viewing you as a man. She is viewing you as a woman. And why is she viewing you as a woman? Because you have failed to polarize your relationship with her. Okay, whether it is just a target that you are approaching, well, especially if it's a target you're approaching, or even somebody like a waitress. Attraction is created and attraction is maintained solely by your ability as a man to polarize that relationship, to basically be a man in that relationship, to put your foot down when you need to put that girl in her place when she needs to be put in her place, okay? Obviously not physically, but verbally, with your aura, with your character, with your behavioral patterns, with your body posture. You can put her in her place. You can let her know that, hey, this is not acceptable with you. You let her know that you have boundaries. Unlike most guys, they have no boundaries when it comes to women. They just let them walk all over them. And the hotter they are, go ahead, walk all over me. Can I have sex with you after? They're afraid to polarize a relationship. Okay? And a lot of it, again, just stems back to just the times we're living in now, where it's not PC to polarize relationship. And yeah, girls are going to come along and shame you for it. And maybe even her girlfriends at work, if they find out about it, like, hey, you're putting your foot down, and you don't let her walk on you, they'll try to shame you too. Like, why don't you just bend over backwards? You know, and not those words exactly, but they're basically telling you to bend over backwards and just let her walk all over you because she's a woman. You know, no, I don't think so, sister. That ain't happening, okay? Because I want that girl to stay physically attracted to me. And I know the second I depolarize that relationship and I do what you're telling me to do, and I bend over backwards for her and I let her walk all over me, that's the second that chick is out the door. That's the second her attraction level for me drops from 80, 90% down to 50%, okay, and lower, where she starts cheating on me. She walks off with some other chump who has lower value than me. I don't think so. Maybe you do that in your relationship, but that ain't happening in my relationship, all right? So you're gonna have a lot of these girls that you date, their girlfriends may not like that. You know, their girlfriends be like, man, this guy's kind of a dick, you know? And that'll happen. That happens with girls that I date. Their girlfriends are like, man, he's kind of a dick. You know, why? Because I put my foot down? Because I don't let her walk all over me? Because I polarize the relationship? Because I put her in her place when she needs to be? I tell her when she's being unreasonable? Are you serious? Right? And because I'm able to hold my ground and I don't let all the little shaming tactics that are going on these days that didn't exist 20 years ago, you know, to me, that's completely foreign, and I ignore any shaming tactics, you know, obviously, because it's not illegal to polarize a relationship. You know, you're not getting violent, you're not breaking windows, you're not physically assaulting the girl. You're just letting her know that, hey, these are my boundaries, do not cross them. Okay, whenever she's wrong, you're letting her know, hey, you are wrong, this is why you are wrong. You're letting her know this is not okay with you, this is unacceptable with you, okay? And when you polarize your relationship, like I'm telling you how to do now, that girl will be jumping all over you for sex. I mean, I've been in bed with these girls and they're like, I am so attracted. Oh my gosh, I'm so attracted to you. Like they're like touching every part of my body. Oh my gosh, I'm so attracted to you. Girls that would otherwise be considered feminist. And I dated a feminist and she did that same thing. If she ever sees it, she'll kill me. But she was exactly that same way. Feminist, man, who bought into all that stuff. I totally polarized our relationship. When we were together physically, she was like, oh my gosh, like touching every aspect of me. Like she's never touched another guy. She was like, I am so attracted to you. She was like kissing me everywhere. It was almost kind of sad in the context that it was so hard for her to just find a guy that isn't afraid to put his foot down. I mean, something as simple as that, just putting your foot down and standing up for what you believe in is enough to polarize your relationship. And the sad thing is, over 90% of guys out there are too afraid to do that. They're too afraid to do that because A, they don't want the girl to think they're a jerk. B, they don't want the girl to have any negative thoughts or any negative opinions of them whatsoever. And C, worst of all, it's become ingrained into our society, these male shaming tactics that shame you for any hint of masculinity that you show. I mean, you could even go out there after leaving the gym and wearing a cut-off t-shirt, and you know, some girls will be offended by that, like feminista types. Like, what are you, man, trying to like get some ladies attracted to you, mister, you know? And you might just be like, no, it's friggin' 90 degrees off out there, screw off. That's the society that we're living in right now, and you have to understand that you're gonna be shamed for being a man. You know what, and don't think that you can avoid being shamed by depolarizing your relationships and trying to be this nice guy that the feministas want you to be. Because the second you turn into that nice guy and you turn into that pleasant guy that they want you to be, they will step all over you. Okay, they will have no respect for you, they will step all over you, and they will eat you alive. And worse than that, you'll have no respect for yourself, and your soul will hate you. Your soul will literally hate you because you're doing what they want you to do, and you're not doing what you want to do. What you know deep down inside is right for you to do, what you've been programmed to do, okay? What you are here to do. So understand the massive, massive importance of polarizing your relationships, because that is what creates attraction from the opposite sex, from young hot girls, okay, and from women, period. You know, even if you're not attracted to that girl, just say, like I mentioned earlier, say it was just a waitress of yours, and I've had waitresses like that give us piss poor service, especially these days, give us piss poor service, and I let them know with my body language, my posture, my voice tonality. I start crossing my arms, I put my head back, I kind of give this like dark stare, and they quickly realize, wait, this guy's pissed. I better tend to him. I better take care of him. I better bring his food out on time. I better make sure his drinks are cold. I better make sure that his party gets their refills on time. I better take care of them. It lets her know very subtly that, hey, don't try to cross our boundaries here. Don't try to pull that crap, okay? Because it doesn't work here. And she knows that too. She knows from time to time she does get those customers that are not afraid to set their boundaries and be like, hey, this kind of service is not okay. So even with girls that you're not necessarily attracted to, might just be a waitress of yours or somebody you're dealing with, a cashier, or maybe even just a coworker, you let her know in a very subtle way with your body posture, your voice tonality, your aura that, hey, this is not okay with you, this is unacceptable, you're putting your foot down, okay? And just by doing that, something as simple as that is effectively polarizing the relationship between you and that female that is the opposite sex from you, okay? It's polarizing relationship. So that's it, man. That's all I have to say is, don't depolarize your relationships. Don't be like most guys out there who are constantly depolarizing their relationships with girls because they want to be PC. They don't want the girls thinking they're a jerk. They don't want the girls having any negative opinions of them. They don't want to be shamed by the feministas or any of his girlfriend's friends at work. Don't be one of those depolarizing beta males out there, because those are the guys whose girlfriends are going out there to these venues that we are picking up like that are so easy to pick up because they are not used to being with a guy who is unafraid to express his masculine side. A guy who is unafraid to put them in their place. A guy who is unafraid to tell them when they are wrong. Okay? A guy who is unafraid to polarize their relationship. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this special clip from my coaching program, Mastery. I hope you've gained value out of it, and I hope you take what you've learned just from this coaching lesson alone and go out there and apply it yourself and see how powerful it is and how valuable it is and how much it actually works in reality, in real life, on real life, young, beautiful women. And I really do want you to go out there and try this stuff for yourself, especially these clips that I'm giving you from my actual coaching program, Mastery. I want you to go out there and try it for yourself because I want you to see how powerful it is, because once you see it work for yourself, you'll know it's possible, okay? Because your brain is not gonna believe it until your brain actually experiences you actually doing it. And once your brain actually believes that it's possible and experiences you actually doing it, you're literally gonna own the world, okay? You're gonna feel like the world is yours. The guys who join my coaching program, Mastery, I have a very, very high stick rate, as they call it. Very, very few guys drop. I'd say over 98, 99% of the guys who sign up for Mastery end up staying in my coaching program because what I'm teaching them is that valuable. And I'm constantly pushing these guys to go out there and try it for themselves. Don't take my word for it. Just take the lessons I'm teaching you in Mastery and go out and try it on young, beautiful women. And you will see how powerful it is. You will see how easy it is and how deadly it works on them. And you will be kicking yourself, I guarantee, you will be kicking yourself for settling your entire life for these 4s and 5s, these average looking girls, because the entire time you thought that's all you could get. You thought that's all you were worth, but you were wrong. It's just as easy to get those 9s and 10s as it is to go after the unattractive girls, the 4s and 5s. And for you guys who are actually going out there and you're in my coaching program and you're now approaching those 9s and 10s, you see it for yourself, how easy it is to approach the hottest girls out there. The girls who are actually hard to approach, believe it or not, are those 4s and 5s, because those girls are gonna be the meanest to you, they're gonna be the nastiest to you, those are gonna be the girls who are gonna try to cut you down, put you down, they're gonna laugh and have fun at rejecting you. They're gonna get some sick pleasure out of it, where 9s and 10s aren't like that, okay? 9s and 10s, they don't get the sick pleasure out of rejecting you and making you feel bad about yourself. It's the 4s and 5s, okay? And this is a little secret that you guys who don't learn this stuff don't know. It just blows me away when I'm out in these venues and I see guys who don't value themselves enough that are going out there and approaching the 4s, the 5s, and maybe the 6s, the semi-cute girls, because they feel like that's all they're worth. They feel like they can't get those 9s and 10s. Okay, but as the old saying goes, the fishing is best where the fewest go. And believe me, there are very few guys hitting up those dime pieces, those perfect 10s, those 9s and 10s. Very few guys, because they don't have the skill, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the confidence in themselves, they don't have the tools, the techniques that I teach you in mastery, that I want to teach you in mastery. That this is why I'm like practically begging you guys to join my coaching program so you can see it for yourself. Just take the very first month of tools, tips, and tricks that I'm practically giving away for just $1. Just take those first 30 days and start applying it to your approaches out there, and I guarantee you're gonna see what I'm talking about. You're gonna see how powerful it is just from that first month alone. Just from that $1 trial, your game is gonna go from here to here. Your game is gonna go whoosh. It's just gonna take off into the stratosphere, all for $1. Are you kidding me? If you can't afford $1, hey, well, it's not filled, it used to be filled with water. I was gonna say jump right in. But it's just $1, guys. Take advantage of it. Don't miss out. I'm giving you the deal of the century right now, so take advantage of it. Let's do this together, me and you. If you want to learn, I want to teach. I want to teach you what I know. I want to give you my knowledge. I want to add value to your life. I want to give you all of the tips, tricks, secrets, and all of the techniques that I've learned over thousands of approaches and over 2 decades of both doing pickup and teaching pickup. I want to teach you what I know, and I want to give you my skills. All you have to do is get in my program. That's all you have to do. That's the easiest part, okay? And it's only $1. So take advantage of it. Don't miss out. Let's do this. Do it right now. Click that link below. Head over to my website and get into mastery right now. Takes 2 seconds. Let's do this, me and you, right now. Let's change your life. Let's change your destiny. Look at this, man. Nice shot of San Francisco, huh?